Sabina, focused this morning on defense and an interesting conversation you had.
It was really good, actually. And you know what stood out for me, Tamanna and Neeraj? You'd imagine that defense is a sector, companies like Zen are companies that would gain if countries are going on war, if there is a geopolitical strain. But interestingly, peace or ceasefires are better for companies like Zen Tech because the kind of work that they do in defense is rather preventive as opposed to reactive. So in fact, it was great talking to Atluri, and he talked about, I mean, I did also ask him that with Trump in power and with everything becoming so inward looking, would they manage to do okay? And they said it would actually be a big positive for a company like Zen Tech. But it's been a phenomenal story. We all know that the stock has performed, the numbers have looked great, margins are good, you know, their order book is healthy, and they've managed to hack 20 patents in this calendar year, 10 patents alone in FY25. But as of course Ashok Atluri shared perspective about what's happening at Zen, the stock is up about today in today's session, and also talked about what everything around means for the sector at large. Listen in.
The tank simulators are very, very complex simulators because you have to replicate the complete the tank, and you open the hatch, you get into the tank. It should be physically complete replica, and that should be on a motion platform. To put it in a container is a very, very challenging thing. And, we did it for the Indian Armed Forces. Last year when we went to US, actually in the US, their army personnel came and said that they have a budget which for the next 5 years to make a containerized tank simulator. And when we actually hooked them up to India and showed them the demonstration of the tank simulator, they were actually flabbergasted and said, "Does India already have it?" And we said, "Yes, it is there." And so this containerized shooting range, the tank simulators can actually be transported, and they can be, people can be trained on that. So this is quite a technical engineering achievement. Forget the technology, the simulation, and all that. And so we think that this will actually, help us, penetrate the US market. That's something we are focusing on at this point in time.
Ashok, before I talk about the specific international markets or clients, and I know some of it will be qualified information, I want to understand from you, what is the expected market size locally and globally, of course, including the Indian Army and, of course, your opportunities internationally, and how soon do you anticipate scaling up deployment?
So, tank simulators, we have already started selling it. This is the old patent that we applied for, which we got granted recently. But yeah, our estimate is the tank simulator market is around 4,000 crores within India, and overseas it's almost $1 billion. That's our estimate.
And what potentially could be your wallet share from this market, not today or tomorrow, but over the next 2 to 3 years? Because I'm assuming any thing that you're spending on today will come with delayed gratification in some ways.
Yeah, so probably 5 to 10% of our revenues may be generated for the simulators. From the Army may be generated for the tank simulator, from the tank simulators.
Okay, and when will this begin to turn revenue accretive? Could it be expected the early sort of trickle-ins coming in as soon as next quarter, Ashok?
It's already been recorded many times. We have been selling it. The delay in patent grant, but we expect again lot of revenues to come from Indian Armed Forces also, and we think it'll probably happen in the next year and the year after also.
Well, you said you've already been selling it, but now, of course, the patent has come, which was outstanding for the last few months. What is the impact of this then on financials? Because like you said, you've already been selling it. So what's new, right?
So it's in the sense that, now we can actually tell the government that, there is no other vendor. Even if we are a single vendor, we can buy it. And when we go overseas also, when they say, listen, we want other buyers, we say, here's the patent that we have. And, so this helps us in saying that the IP is owned by us, and single vendor situation, it is easy to assert ourselves that, it is a single vendor because we are IP owners of this. And also, establishes us as a IP player, not as a, manufacturing for some TOT or, some contract research outsourced item.
Sir, you mentioned that there was some interest from some of the countries like the US in our first question. You want to tell me if there are any active negotiations currently underway with any other countries?
No. I mean, so the tank simulators we are marketing it to various other countries, but US was something that in the last year, last November when we went, they had shown interest in this technology, and we are talking to them at this point in time. And but that's a couple of years away, at least a couple of years away. Before we get anything in that, but other countries may be a little sooner than maybe next year or the year after that.
So just let's expand that conversation now, right? With 20 patents secured in 2024 and 10 in FY25, how do you see this intellectual property portfolio contributing to revenue growth in the next 2 to 3 years?
So, in the sense that, one thing about the patent is that, we have developed a lot of libraries that will help us develop more products very easily. If new platforms come, we will be able to develop more platforms. And what we think is because of what we are developing is not just a one-off product that we have got from outside and trying to sell for a particular contract, but this is a capability development which gives us a sustainable competitive advantage. That means to say, if I develop for T90, I can develop it for Abrams tank, I can develop for Leopard tank, because I have the physics and the software for the underlying software for that. So this is actually a very huge statement that the capability that we have is very scalable and very sustainable. Yeah.
So being recognized and you will leverage, and I think that is what critical, right? It sort of forms a little bit of a base in terms of what you're currently working and focusing on. I want to talk about your earnings as well because they've been phenomenal. You've posted a 3 times growth or 3.6 times growth in revenue. Is this momentum sustainable? I know you impress quarter on quarter, but I do have to ask you this. Sustainable in terms of revenue growth, and also is there an upside risk because with all these patents coming in, revenues are only bound to go up from here?
So, we do think that there is a growth potential, and we have been saying that, we should be able to attain a 50% CAGR on an average over the next couple of years. And yes, we think that the way it is at the ground level, it is looking extremely encouraging. And the government of India is really, really rapidly modernizing the fund. And there is this study by the Terry which said that investment of 15 crores give a savings of 380 crores. So that itself, a lot of pressure on the army on moving from traditional to simulator training. And government is really, really acting very fast on that. So yes, I think the growth is expected and it's expected rapidly. And the second thing that we do is the anti-drone systems. And we know everybody is now really, really fearful of the drone threat. And we are rightly in that sweet spot where training and anti-drone systems have become important in the current scenario.
Sir, your order book is also very healthy at 956 odd crores. What percentage of these orders can we expect to be executed in the remaining quarters or the second half of FY25?
I think, we have said that we'll do about 900 crores this year. So, out of that, if we remove the AMCs out of it, then we have about 650 crores or 650, 700 crores. So out of the 700 crores, we expect about 400 crores will be executed during the current year, at least 400 crores. And the rest will spill over into the next year. If whatever is unexecuted will spill over into the next year.
So 400 crores in the next 2 quarters of FY25, right?
So, I'm just trying to align myself with the 900 crore target more than anything else. But that will be at least a number for me, yeah.
You also have a very healthy pipeline. 3,500 odd crores is what I understand is from the order pipeline. Can you tell me what percentage of this is in advanced stages of negotiation or finalization? And can we expect announcements in the next 2 quarters?
So yeah, in the next 2 quarters, I think we are expecting about, we said that about 1,200 crores worth of orders at some stage, which may materialize within the next 2 quarters. And the rest of the orders, we think they come in the next year. And we expect the pipeline also to, balloon as we go into the next few months.
Also, what I do want to get a sense from you on is training simulators and anti-drone systems make up a significant chunk of your current order book.
Are you a chief follow-up officer wasting 5 hours a day in giving the work manually and then following with the staff whether they have done the work or not? Are you
order wins or negotiations?
So, again, RCWS is a remote control application that we can integrate with the anti-drone system to shoot down the drones. And then there are surveillance systems like the cameras, which can be integrated with the anti-drone system. But what we are seeing now is these systems by themselves are, being demanded by the customers. Some of the customers, they are saying, listen, we want your remote control weapon station on our Jeep to take out the soldier from the harm's way. And so these applications are extremely good, and we think they will start, the revenues from them will start coming in the next year. I think this year may be a little difficult, but next year we see substantial potential in them.
And from what you gauge and understand, what is the market size of these remote control weapons, locally and globally?
Yeah, so we have estimated that for both the surveillance and remote control weapon station, it's about about 8,000 crores within India and about 16,000 crores overseas.
Sir, you've also given us a guidance where you indicate that you're looking to double down on US investments. Any specific plans, markets, partnerships, product localization that you're looking at right now, and also timelines of when this starts having a financial impact in terms of your revenue cycle?
So, the earliest impact we think will be in FY27, not earlier than that, even though, we are looking at trying to get some, quick wins in terms of, not only being the prime, but, to team up with primes and be their subs and, try to get some contracts there. And then we are also looking to directly deal with the armed forces, which will be the second thing. And third is, using US as the base for going over to South America, of course, the other North American countries and the NATO countries. So these are the three areas that we want to do from there. And we think that with the new environment there, will be really, really, it's an opportune time to be in US because we expect the sales to happen in a big way from US now.
Also, you had 100 crores raised through a QIP. How are you looking to allocate that funds, and what is the sort of return on investments on these fundraisers that you've done?
So we raised about 1,000 crores, Amina, and what we are trying to do is
sorry, my bad.
So we are focusing on acquisitions. That's the first area of focus for us, and and also because the sales turnover is exploding, we will be using second large part for the working capital. And so these are the two areas that we'll be focusing on. But other than that, it will be generally R&D and a bit of capex for the rest of them now.
Acquisitions, and you mentioned you're going to double down on the US. So are these acquisitions going to be focused in those markets, or are you ready? Have you identified a potential target? Is it local? Is it global? And what will the synergies be? Will it be backward integration? Will it be a peer? I mean, what are you thinking?
The two things that we are looking at. One is, of course, the US investment is one thing, but the second thing is within the acquisitions we are looking in, expanding our scope within Air Force and naval simulation. And the second is in the area of anti-drone system, where we feel that there are technologies that can enhance, like similar to what we did with remote control weapon station and surveillance. Are there any other technologies that we can get to complete the anti-drone system scope that we want to do? Again, our objective has always been, how do we become absolutely number one in both the simulators and the anti-drone system? So anti-drone system, we are not there, and we want to be there. That's one of the purpose of the race.
One question I want to ask you, which I think the whole world is thinking and talking about, is with Trump back in power in the US. What does that mean for the US as a client, for localization plans in the US? Do you feel like this is going to have a material impact on businesses like yourself? And also, including or excluding the US, the constant changing geopolitical setup, has it impacted business? But let's talk about Trump for a minute and then move to the larger geographies.
I think Trump's win would, we personally think that it would mean end of wars at most of the places. I think today they declared ceasefire, and that was our expectation. If Trump wins, the wars will end, which is actually very good news for companies like Zen. Two things. One is the immediate operational requirement of buying, weaponry, operational equipment has kind of, come down. But the unease will continue. That world is an unpredictable place. Wars will happen, will continue. And that means to say they have to be prepared for the war in the, post-Trump era. We don't know what will happen. So the investment in training will go up significantly in the peacetime. And second is, with respect to anti-drone system, the anti-drone system, we are seeing everywhere. Everybody is saying, why are you buying fighter planes? Why are you doing this? For various reasons, they're saying, drones will replace everything. So anti-drone will become the most important thing in anybody's arsenal as a defensive equipment. And so, we think Trump is coming is a very good news. And second thing is, we setting up in US is also good news, because I think with Trump in the country, the people will want to buy from US, and we want to really do the value addition in US to comply with their Made in America requirement and send it from there. And your next question was about geopolitical. What exactly was it, Samina?
Yeah, what I wanted to understand is and I think.
Do you invest in stock market?
Yes, I do.
What has been your best stock?
And I think, but like you said, peace is even better, because then you have countries investing in anti-drone technology, and companies like yourself then stand to benefit even more.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, say, for operational equipment, which was emergency purchases that were happening, that will cease. But, people who are thinking long term, they will talk about, how do we get prepared, and very, short and with a smaller investment. And for that, training is absolutely necessary. And the drone threat is again there. And for that, we need anti-drone systems. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Zen is in a very, very sweet spot that way.
No, war or no war, it's great. And it's so good that a defense company gains even
very
more.
Frank, I mean, I would prefer no war. We
I know. And it's amazing that you can say that.
Yeah, absolutely. We prefer no war, and in the sense that, the point is, this company was formed to protect India, make India very strong.
Preventive.
If there are no wars, we would be very willing to...
Ashok, I can't hear you. I think you've gone back on mute.
Oh, no, I'm not on mute.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, they can hear you.
So the whole point is that, no war is good news for the world, and good news for Zen Technologies also.
Okay, so that was the conversation with Zen Tech. Meanwhile, the big focus this morning also is what has been happening in the auto space, and it's been quite interesting. Fresh EV launches, and that has been in focus. So Mahindra & Mahindra has launched at